Hi everyone, my name is Adlin and I will be your moderator for tonight. Okay, so anyways, a little introduction of Adgency. Basically, Adgency ni kelab dalaman untuk pelajar advertising di UiTM. Kita orang update info, buat online events from time to time and we try to stay active. So do follow us for more updates if you haven't followed us yet. Anyways, we're very honored to have a respected lecturer here with us. His name is Dr. Khairudin bin Murad, also known as Dr. Khai. He has more than 10 years experience in industry. He was an art director and has been a lecturer for 10 years. Amazing. Nak masuk 11 tahun dah. And tonight he will be doing a sharing session of advertising career for future. So Dr. Khai, silakan.
Alright, Assalamualaikum. So how's everybody? Assalamualaikum and good night. Good night, good evening. So basically, if you ask me personally, this is quite new to me lah. This platform. IG ni first time lah saya live di IG. It means that IG is not my what you call it, segmented market to me lah. Target segmented brand to me. It shows that I'm actually dah tua lah kot untuk IG ni, kan? So, kalau you tengok Madam Hanani kan, dia biasa guna IG. Tu maknanya Madam Hanani tu dia masih muda lagi lah. Dia sentiasa muda. My platform is Facebook, apa lagi social media, Twitter and YouTube lah. IG ni, if you ask me to update on my daily routine, ambil gambar, pergi laut, pergi kolam, post on IG, that's not me lah. Right. Okay. So today's talk is about your future career. Some of you may have seen this slide. I think last time we have an ad talk career, ad talk. We invited a couple of your seniors that are actually they were actually successful advertising practitioners. Number one is Firdaus, senior copywriter, and I think is Azam, senior media planner. That was a great sharing sessions from your senior. So basically, today's talk atau sessions atau tonight's session is about your advertising career for future. I focus on just focus on how students itself, advertising students, or rather mass comm students, put their efforts to become, to become a good, advertising practitioners. Especially during the preparations, towards becoming an industry practitioners lah. Maknanya from semester 1 to semester 5. Semester 6 is a totally different story. Semester 6 tu dia dah practical lah. You are halfway to industry, and after semester 6 you grad, so you must get ready lah. At the very least lah, I always give advice to my students, when you go for intern, try your best to get hired lah. Kan, maknanya put a lot of efforts to it, to your jobs, always helping your colleagues, put extra efforts, multitasking, so that at the very end of your internship, you akan get hired. Itu lebih senang. Okay, so what's next? Advertising career for future. Consumers by definitions are all of us. When we talk about advertising, atau brands, atau marketing, or rather in integrated marketing communication in general, we are all consumer. Betul tak? We are all consumer. Kan? I give you one example lah. Imagine I call up for interviews. I call up for interviews, ada position for credit atau a position for perhaps executive. Kan? Ada 3 orang datang. The first candidate is from FITA, Faculty Film and Animation and Theatre. The second candidate from art and design student. The third candidate from MESCOM, in particular advertising students. So dalam 3 orang ni, you rasa student FITA, dia sembang pasal apa? Dia cerita pasal apa? Obviously, dia cerita pasal, storytelling, the narrative, the premise of these probably short movies and whatnot, kan? Production, pre-production, post-production, dia his atau her experience during study, contohnya. Candidate number 2, R&D design. He or she talk about the elements of design, or rather he or she talk about principle of design, colors, symbols, element of typography, so everything about design. Tetapi student advertising ni datang interview, you rasa dia nak cakap pasal apa? Saya nampak kacak lah. Ya, rambut dah tumbuh kan, lebat sikit. Okay. So, student advertising ni, he or she talk about brand. Dia cerita pasal brand. Brand, jenama, brand. They talk about consumer behaviors, consumer attitudes towards this specific brand. They talk about brand's essence. They talk about brand personality, brand characters. That is advertising. They talk about brand characteristics. They do a comparison between Android and iOS, Samsung and Apple. Their advertising and marketing projections. They talk about this and that. Everything's about brand. That is how we differentiate between advertising, MESCOM advertising student and other sequence and other course lah. Then, how do we differentiate advertising student and business student? Advertising, brand awareness. Business is all about dollars and cents, market projections, those curving lah, apa benda lah. Tetapi bila student advertising datang interview, kan, probably for their internship or rather for their career, he or she needs to talk about brands. That is how we relate ourselves as a consumer in general. Because we are all consumers. Bila consumer perlukan produk ada brand, di situlah advertising bermula. It's quite harsh bila saya cakap, when you talk about IMC as one huge umbrella, bawah tu ada advertising, ada broadcasting, ada publishing, ada PR and what not. Tapi yang paling mula sekali start is advertising. You talk about the strategy. You talk about ideation, idea generation. You talk about conceptual. That is how advertising works. I was in industry before. It's quite fun and happening. Trust me. I've been there, done that. Right? So, sebab tu saya start dengan slide. Consumers by definitions are all of us. Ni bukan saya cakap JFK. Tahu tak JFK siapa? John Kennedy. I think sekarang ni dah 49, 50 ke 50 Presiden US. John Kennedy ni mungkin 30 lah, Presiden US yang ke 30 lebih lah contohnya. Right. Now secondly, creativity is an advertising agencies. Before that, sebelum saya terlupa, consumers by definition, which is all of us. Because advertising ni, one of the good thing of advertising is that, in general lah, it is the art of convincing people to spend money they don't have for something that they don't need. It is an art though. Dia bukan science. An art of convincing people to spend money they don't have for something that they don't need. That is advertising. How do you put yourself in a position in an advertising agency? You duduk, you brainstorm the strategy. Siapa yang duduk kreatif, they come up with ideas. a creative copy, a good header, a good tagline. Siapa yang duduk media planner, dia grind this good strategy of advertising medium and platform. Siapa yang jadi account servicing, dia build good relationship dengan clients, kan? Siapa yang duduk productions. So this is advertising. Consumers tak ada duit, tetapi bila you keluar advertisement, bila you come out with a campaign, kan? Which is I mean, not necessarily they need to spend for that product atau for that brand, but then again they spend, yeah, they take action, they spend, they buy, they purchase, they bought that product. So that is art. Art requires a good strategy. Art requires creativity. Creativity is an advertising agency's most valuable asset because it is the rarest. True or not? Kan? Kreatif dalam advertising ni memang sangat rare. You boleh compare. You boleh compare filem Yasmin Ahmad dengan filem-filem yang lain. Contohnya filem yang mainstream, for instance. It's very subtle. I mean, it's very subtle in terms of scripting, storytelling, and in fact, cinematography is quite subtle compared to the mainstream movie producer or movie directors. If you look at this, Yasmin past commercial, especially Petronas, she talk about unity. She talk about multicultural society. It's very, very subtle. Then, so yeah, that is why I mentioned many times during my class. Perkara yang paling simple sekali. Copywriter. Dalam advertising saja ada position copywriter. Luar daripada advertising, kita panggil dia writer. Kita panggil dia probably creative writer. Kita panggil dia editor. Kan? Kita panggil dia writer lah. Kita panggil dia script writer. Tetapi dalam advertising, kita panggil copywriter because copywriter involve of a lot of process of thinking, creativity to come up with a copy that actually appeal to the wide audience. And at the end of the day, it actually induce people to buy that product. Okay. So that is creativity lah. How to be creative? Senang je. Be inspired. It puts a lot of work to be creative tau. You tahu tak? You ingat senang-senang jadi kreatif. Betul ke Aira Natasha? True. Kan? Aira was my student. Sekarang ni dia bekerja di kat mana Aira? Entropia ke? Grey ke? She's lucky during the pandemic, she got hired Alhamdulillah. So yeah, you need to put a lot of efforts to be creative. Yeah. By inspiring others' job, others' creative job. Be inspired, be creative. Creativity is very universal tau. Creativity ni bukan buat design je bang. Bukan buat video saja. No, creativity is very universal. If you like to do painting, that is one of the creativity in universal as an art. If you like fashion, for instance, photography, for instance, apa lagi? Art, architectures, interior designs. Be inspired. Soak up. Go out and soak every information that you have, you see, be inspired. You drive along the highway, you saw this billboard, be inspired towards that billboard, right? And then not just be inspired and then balik rumah sila panggung. No, cannot lah kan? And put it down. Write it down. Itu nanti saya cerita pasal portfolio lah. Right? In advertising, not to be different is visually suicidal. Yep. In advertising, not to be different is visually suicidal. Whether you are different, whether you are not different, that's another case lah. There is no right and there is no wrong in creativity in general lah. Not to be different, to put it into advertising perspective, obviously as a consumer, there's a lot of brands out there lah. So you need to you have at the very least, one atau less than 1% to impress your audience. How to be creative, how to stand out among others, stand out among the crowd. So you need to be different. Maybe your ideas initially was bad, kan? Bad, if you ask me, bad ideas, that is different, kan? Kita panggil dia indirect approach atau indirect approach atau strategi, ya. Bad idea may be the good seed, of the good idea, kan? Saya appreciate bad idea actually. Saya sangat appreciate bad idea because from that particular bad idea, from that one bad idea, you boleh kembangkan menjadi good idea. Okay, sangat susah sebenarnya nak create campaign yang really stand out among others. Walaupun campaign tu using direct approach, for instance, sangat susah. Recently saya perasan campaign KFC ni, kebanyakannya quite different lah in term of dia punya copy, in term of dia punya, they come out with jingles and what not. It's a bit laid back punya approach lah. But then again, dia attract my attention lah. And saya tahu siapa yang buat tu. KFC tu. Right, content. So I'm going to talk about, first and foremost, you need to determine what are the core subject. And core semua ni core subject sebenarnya dalam advertising ni. Tapi saya tak subjek-subjek liberal ni saya tak definekan as a core subject. Tapi dalam advertising ni semua core subject. Tapi ada yang very core subject, bukan you kena score, yang you kena give your heart and soul in order for you to understand what are your future position in advertising. That is core subject ni adalah my personal opinions lah. Siapa lecturer yang tak mengajar subjek ni jangan hati. Itu saya punya pandangan lah. Ini yang core subject. Tapi ni bukan advertising punya keputusan lah. Itu saya punya keputusan based on my experience lah. Yang tak berapa banyak ni. Creative or executive. This is important for you to know. Advertising student ni, dia bukan hanya dalam advertising agency saja. Dia ada dekat Maybank, dia ada dekat Petronas, dia ada dekat Asia. Asia tu bukan jadi stewardess, itu bukan advertising punya kerja, right? Dia ada dekat government, perkhidmatan awam, sektor awam, dia ada everywhere, right? And then dia juga boleh jadi entrepreneur. That is the most interesting lah part lah. And last but not least, I want to talk about COVID-19, the challenges. So I receive feedbacks from my students yang dah bekerja, yang sedang intern, ada yang bagi tahu the recent situations, ada yang sedih, ada yang positif, but most of all I think we need to actually accept the situation right now. Saya sebenarnya kesian dengan student-student ni, especially student semester lepas yang tempuh intern during COVID. Banyak problem, bukan banyak problem lah, banyak halangan, tapi they manage. I think most of them manage to get through the hassles lah, alhamdulillah. And some of them also got hired, alhamdulillah lah. Okay, and then especially student part 5. Mana ada student part 5 ni? Student part 5 ni ada 70 orang, 80 orang. Kita sebenarnya dah plan baik untuk student part 5 ni, 80 orang ni. Student part 5 ni. I think last time kalau ingat saya, student advertising yang ada 4 group ni, saya ingat batch 2008-2009 tu. Itu batch Faiz Diki tu. Faiz Diki, batch siapa lagi? Yang jadi pelakon lah, yang jadi pengacara, yang jadi host lah. Tu batch tu 80 orang. Ada 4 batch. A, B, C, D semua berjaya lah, alhamdulillah. Student part 5 ni ada 70 orang. And diorang kebetulan pula musim COVID pula. Sayang macam mana nak buat tu? Kan? So kena put effort lah. Kena put effort. Jangan takut lah. Jangan takut. Right. No, ada challenges. Kalau during my time economic downturn pun ada juga masa tu kan. Tetapi at this moment semua ada package economic downturn lah, covid lah and everything. Okay. Zafira Food ni company apa ni? Zafira Food ni. Okay, core subject. Siapa yang semester 2 tu? Core subject ada 2 situ ya. Principle of advertising. This is very basic. Right? An overview of advertising in general. What is brand? What is brand communication? How brand affect the society? Itu penting. In general. Consumer behavior. Apa lagi? Target segmenting, something like that. Ni yang saya ajar lah. Nombor 2 adalah core subject dia adalah advertising, art and intelligent design. Ingat, subjek ni semua 4 credit hours, ada yang 3 credit hours juga. Saya bukan nak cakap subjek ni kena score, tapi memang kena score nak buat macam mana kan. Nama pun belajar. Right, advertising, art and intelligent design ni kan, memang kita buat khusus untuk advertising students. Because, ni dah berbuih saya cakap. Design ni, I tell you what, is not secondary anymore. Bila cakap meskom, meskom bolehnya kan. Kita boleh cakap, kita boleh present. Tapi so buat, alamak tak boleh buat. Kan? Macam mana? So, design is not a secondary anymore. Dia dah primary dah, shoulder to shoulder. You can communicate well, you can present well, you can give good ideas, you can come up with a good concept. At the end of the day, you execute that product. You execute that strategy. Itu pentingnya. Kan? At the very least, you know how to use Photoshop. Kan? You know how to actually use illustrators. And the best part, you know how to do motion designs. That is the best part. Right? So, attend kelas ni, bukan hanya attend nak habis. No. Dia kena ada jiwa. Trust me lah. Dia kena ada jiwa. Nabila who join. Nabila is also my student during intern. Nabila, alhamdulillah, she got hired also. Sekarang dia dekat Grey. Okey, terputus minta maaf. Biasalah. Kan? Couple pun boleh putus. Kan? Bila berkapal pun boleh putus. Apa lagi lah bila online ni kan. Right. Apa yang cakap tadi? Advertising, art and intelligent design. So basically again, design is not secondary. Okay? If you go for interview, you have at the very least basics idea of using design software. That is a huge weightage for advertising candidates lah. So at the very least you can put that particular skills on your resume. So perhaps tak adalah macam kalau nak minta AE dia perlu tengok illustrator, tak adalah. At least you know how to consult dengan klien kan. Klien bagi logo ni dia tak create outline for instance, you advise them, you can give your thoughts and views to probably the design elements, what are the focal points for this campaign contoh. Okay, right. Semester 3 consumer behavior. Saya pernah mengajar sekali consumer behavior. Tak silap saya, dia punya toke dia adalah Madam Hanani So consumer behavior ni guys is very important. Because what I tengok saya punya first slide tadi, we are all consumer. At the very least lah, your observations on consumer behaviors towards consumer behavior, consumer attitudes towards a certain brand, that is very important. Okay, dia akan ajar you macam-macam lah. And then advertising copywriting. Ingat, semester 2 kita ada visual, semester 3 kita ada textual, which is copywriting. Penting juga copywriting tu, whether it's in English or BM. And in fact, position untuk copywriting, copywriter BM ni banyak yang kosong. Ramai yang power copywriting English, tapi bila nak buat BM tu, dia pening sikit. You tak boleh buat direct translation, you kena ada jiwa kan. And banyak opening for copywriter for BM, junior copywriter. Because why? Consumers tu kan, in general, consumers tu siapa dia punya bahasa Melayu lah, orang Melayu kita lah. Kan? Purchasing power tu kat mana? Dekat orang Melayu lah. Kan? So, kan, that is one of the most important thing in advertising campaigns. Kadang-kadang you boleh tengok lah, kadang-kadang copywriting untuk BM tu macam pelik sikit. Itu di confirm lah, dia direct translations lah. I rasa tadi siapa tadi? Salah punya student tadi. Aira copywriter Aira kan? I rasa Aira copywriter. Aira copywriter. BM pening sikit. Yep. Right. Semester 4 core subject adalah advertising and media planning. Advertising and media planning is very technical, but surprisingly ramai student kita yang masuk media planning. Especially in the emergence of digital advertising. It's quite interesting. Right? Yang popular adalah IPG, Publicis, Mindshare, banyak. In fact, banyak standalone advertising media agencies, media planning agencies yang dah keluar daripada full service advertising, ataupun dia keluar, dia jadi a sisters company macam LB. I heard LB bawa ada Publicis, I think so. Okay, Libanet. Creative strategy in advertising. This is also my favorite subject. Okay, dia punya toke dia adalah Dr. Shifa. It is important for you to again be creative, be inspired from other advertisements, from other brands, right? So creative strategy mostly they actually Dr. Shifa teaches you how to get ideas, how to get inspired from other works or campaigns. The process of idea generations, these are some of the core subject semester 4. Saya rasa ada lagi subjek kat situ macam teknologi, tapi saya personally I think this media planning and creative ada core subject, because media planning dia ada position dia, media planner. Creative strategy dia ada position dia, graphic designer ataupun copywriter. Kalau position yang tinggi adalah art director ataupun creative director. Semester 5, ni yang student semester 5 ni. Zafran ni. Zafran buat TikTok ni. Kan, semester 5 ni advertising, campaign and planning. Saya consider advertising campaign ni as a holy grail of advertising subject. Semua you belajar dari situ. Semester 5 you belajar. So project you involved dengan copywriting, involved dengan media planning, involved dengan creative, involved dengan design. Week in, week out presentation. Itu Encik Zali kita, orang lama kita, Encik Rosaili. Right? And also I think this is also a new subject which is good, client relations. Walaupun ramai juga student-student kita yang jadi account executive atau account servicing, client relations. Client relations ni advertising campaign and planning ni lebih kepada executions campaign. Client relations ni siapa yang nak jadi account executive, dia dah focus on client relations. Right. So how, looking back at semester 1, dia start semester 2 core subject ni. 2, 3, 4 and 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Ada lebih kurang 2 tahun situ. Paling saya tak rasa semester 2 you dah develop your interest. I don't think so. Tapi lebih awal lagi bagus. Because why? From my experience, okay, ada student yang daripada Fita, ada student yang daripada R&D design yang dah ada skill tu tau. Contohnya ada skill buat design, yang ada skill photography for instance, yang ada skill buat motion design atau animation tu. So interest tu dah ada dah. Cuma dia masuk advertising ni because of the hype lah dalam advertising ni maybe. Okay, ada yang daripada masscom ya dia dah tahu apa itu advertising, tetapi dia tak develop the interest lagi. And I expect semester 3 paling cepat lah. Semester 3 you dah develop your interest toward advertising. How? Invest lah. Build your portfolios. If you think that semester 3, siapa mengajar ni? Cik Suhaimi ke siapa mengajar copywriting ni, kan? You macam minat lah dengan Cik Suhaimi, dengan Dr. Suhaimi ni kan. You minat dengan Dr. Suhaimi, tapi you, at the same time you minat dengan copywriting ni contohnya. Minat tu maknanya you minat lah cara dia mengajar kan. So you rasa, copywriting is my style. It's my future position. So after that, you invest your works, your portfolio towards writing. Buat spoof campaign, spoof advertisement. KFC keluarkan campaign ni, you buat spoof campaign for that particular KFC campaign lah, advertisement. Kan? Dulu kita orang, kan? Kalau saya tak ramai minat dengan I, tak ramai yang jadi graphic designer ni, director ni rasa. So, kalau you minat dengan media mana ni, consumer behavior, dia akan leads you towards account servicing ataupun media planning, walaupun you tak belajar lagi media planning tu. Macam saya cakap tadi, semester 3 you dah develop your interest. Jangan semester, sedang eloklah semester 4. Semester 4 you dah tahu dah nak jadi apa. Kan? Macam ada boleh nampak lah semester 4 ni kalau saya mengajar student ni, dia pandai dia pandai macam part 5 tu masa tu. Siapa? Yang handsome siapa tu? Sekarang ni part 5. Kan? Syekh contohnya Syekh. Dia punya suara VO pun sedap kan. Maybe dia boleh jadi part time model lah, tapi dalam advertising agency dia boleh jadi account servicing. Contohnya. Kan macam Norin for instance. Norin dia boleh jadi graphic designer. That is graphic designer ni entry level position. And then he or she will become creative director. Kan? Macam Syuhada maybe dia boleh jadi copywriter for instance. Kan? So saya boleh nampak lah talent tu. Maknanya semester 4 tu sedang elok lah. Ada juga yang semester 5 yang tak tahu nak jadi apa. Bukan tak tahu nak jadi apa, bukan tak tahu nak jadi orang ke tak. Memang jadi orang. Tapi nak jadi apa tu, the position in industry. So that's why, Hashim? Hashim jadi apa Hashim? Kan? Macam Brad for instance, Brad dia nak jadi account executive. Dia dah tetap dalam jiwa dia, nak jadi account executive. Saya dah tanya dia banyak kali lah, nak jadi apa ni? Account executive. Acap saya rasa dia berjadi kreatif lah, menjadi kreatif. Right. So, jangan sampai semester 5 baru you nak develop your interest lah. Itu kira susah sikit lah develop your interest. Barulah terkial-kial nak apa? Nak kumpul portfolio kan. So that's why masa part 2 tu saya suruh awak buat online portfolio, online blog tu. Maintain lah that online portfolio tu. Kan? Part 5 yang ramai yang talented. Saya tahu ramai yang talented. Ramai yang talented. So that's why lah kesian diorang ni. 80 orang ni nak masuk intern ni during COVID ni. Kan? In fact kita dah ada initial saja. Kita nak buat major first time kita nak buat degree show. So kita buat degree show, kita buat dekat kita buat exhibition, kita panggil top agencies, international, local, datang. You boleh imagine degree show kat situ dia tampal dia ni resume. Memang dia boleh QR code boleh get hired terus lah. So kita plan situ, tapi nak buat macam mana sayang. Okay. Right. Advertising campaign, So that's why I said core subject ni, it is important for you to determine your interest, to develop your interest. Whether before you enter advertising ke during the semesters. At the very least semester 3 paling awal semester 3. Semester 4 tu kalau dah hujung-hujung semester 4 tu baru nak develop interest tu, saya rasa lambat juga. The early semester 4 tu you dah develop interest walaupun you tak belajar lagi campaign ni. Okay? Macam mana nak develop interest? You boleh tahulah dalam setiap projek, group project itu, okay, you nak buat apa? You nak buat copy, you nak buat ni. Walaupun tak sebenarnya very specific, you get involved with other others areas also, but then again that is copywriting is my core. Contohnya. Kan? Okay. So, okay, tu habis lah part tu lah core subject. Penting mesti part 2 dan part 3. Okay? Part 4 pun sama. Kan? Right, part 4 masa saya mengajar part 2 ramai juga yang talent juga, yang talented juga ya. Okay, tapi masa tu masih raw je, masih hijau lagi masa tu. Saya tak jumpa di part 3, saya pun tak jumpa di part 4. Hopefully dia dah decide lah, develop the interest, invest on your portfolio. Now, when we talk about creative or executive, ada dua je cabang career in advertising, your future career. Creative and executive ni, in general, pun ada bawah dia tu ada dua. Creative and executive in term of the company setup. Creative or executive in term of the position of that particular opening. Creative and executive, number one is company setup yang you boleh masuk. Different setup, different objective atau different alignments lah. Different goals. Number two, position, creative and executive in terms of the positions yang you desire. Now, kita go for company setup dulu. Now, company setup in advertising, dia ada dua, creative and executive. Bila kita cakap a creative company setup, that is definitely an advertising agency. Excuse me. And a specialized advertising agency. Okay? Apa itu specialized advertising agency? For instance, like a creative boutique, kan? A production company, contohnya. Macam probably a content creator company, macam Tinker Studios, for instance. Okay? Macam, lupa lah saya. Ada tu. Okay? Macam media agency, bukan media agency macam media Astro, no. Macam media agency like IPG, publicist, ada ada few. Itu adalah creative company. Agency and specialized agency. Executive pula, apa company executive? Adalah client. Macam, contohnya macam Arena for instance. Arena work as a account executive. At the same time, Anik pula, kawan dia pula satu kelas, Anik pula kerja dekat Unify. Dia kerja dekat Unify tu, dia bukan kerja Unify, dia bukan pasang tarik kabel Anik ni, dia bekerja dalam corporate department. Dalam corporate department tu ada narrow department, ada branding atau advertising and branding. Dia kerja situ as a branding executive contohnya. So Anik ni pula kebetulan kawan dengan si Arina ni. Anik ni ada opening for nak buat campaign. So dia contact Arina yang kerja dekat LB ke atau Sachi ke atau Densu ke. So dia panggil Arina pergi briefing. So maknanya advertising student pula ada juga duduk dalam executive sebelah klien ataupun kita panggil dia an in-house agency. Okay, tadi saya nampak satu opening. Saya pun pelik juga. Opening dia adalah design manager. Dia berkeluar kat wall saja. Saya tengok, design manager ni apa benda? Architecture ke? Rupanya design manager ni dia dekat mana? Dekat Sandabi, I think. Sandabi. Design manager ni, kerja dia buat design lah. Brochure, pamphlet, web, kan? Updating web design and what not. Kan? Memang ada position design manager. Tetapi, design manager tak ada position dia dekat advertising agency. Kita panggil graphic designer, kita panggil junior art director atau senior graphic designer, junior art director atau kita panggil art director yang buat design. Creative director yang buat design. Okay, so design manager ni dia adalah, kita panggil dia company setup dia executive. Orang yang jadi design manager ni kawan-kawan yang kerja kat Sandabi ni, dia tak pakai t-shirt macam saya ni. Kan? Dia pakai tie, long sleeve. Dia pakai seluar slack, kasut kulit wire ke apa, kulit ular tu. Tetapi dia designer. Nampak tak? Maknanya dia duduk dalam corporate. Ada juga designers atau copywriter atau writer yang advertising student yang duduk dalam media, yang bekerja dalam Astro, yang bekerja dalam TV3 for instance, yang bekerja dalam maybe dalam Utusan, dalam The Star for instance. Ada juga associate ni macam maybe dia bekerja dalam a web designer atau app designer, digital apps company contohnya. Kan? Designer dalam tu, atau buat sales, buat advertising and promotion kat situ. Atau dia bekerja dalam event company contohnya. Kan? Dia jadi event executive for instance. Supplier ni macam dia jadi printing ke, kan? Dia jadi contoh, ada juga yang kerja dalam contoh macam supplier. Big Three. Kan? Dia kerja kat Big Three. Dia jadi sales. So maknanya Big Three ni, yang billboard tu, outdoor, out of home tu, dia kerja kat situ. Itu kita panggil dia executive dalam company. Tapi kreatif, most definitely advertising company atau specialized advertising company. Right? Malay copywriter dia perlukan PM me please. Jadi Malay copywriter ni dia bukan tahu bahasa Melayu je, dia kena tahu bahasa Inggeris juga. Right? Okay. Next one. Settle. Ada lagi company setup. Now, the client. Student kita ada duduk dekat the client. Ada duduk dekat corporate department dekat Maybank. Corporate department dekat Celcom. Corporate department dekat Petronas. Kan? And then, contohnya Petronas, they want to come up with this Deepavali punya campaign, commercial. So, dia pergi ke agency. Kan? Agency pula dia pergi kat media. Nak keluar kat mana media ni? Media ni as in Astro kan? Ataupun TV3 kan? Ataupun maybe press. Press punya company contohnya. Media maksudnya. Nak keluar kat TV. And then nak keluar kat YouTube. Macam kat Google and what not. Kan? Spend dia punya ad tu kan? Ad spend tu. And then when it comes to associate atau consultant, okay, advertising agency ni dia tak ada production. Dia panggil production company. Kan? Yang ada, production company yang pandai, yang director, the cinematographer. Tetapi, most of the time, script tu datang daripada, copy tu datang daripada agency. Maybe sini pun ada script writer, dia ubah sikit. So, inilah industri awak sebenarnya. Awak, kebanyakannya akan berada di advertising agency. Awak juga, ada juga, ramai juga dekat klien. Ramai juga yang duduk dekat media. Dan ramai yang juga duduk dekat associates atau consultant. Right? Okay. Next one. Habis pasal company setup ni, ingat kita bukan hanya duduk dekat advertising agency. We are an all-rounder advertising ni. Especially in brand business making lah. Right? So, yes, creative and executive can also be defined in a very specific position in advertising ke, in the client side ke, in-house ke, or rather in media or associates company or consultant. When we talk about creative positions, tak lain dan bukan itu adalah position dalam creative department. Okay? Tapi bila kita cakap pasal executive, it is a position for non-creative department. Apa itu position for non-creative department? Itulah yang jumpa klien, yang buat media planning, kan? Yang apa? Yang buat client strategies, client analysis, that is executive. Maknanya luar daripada creative department kita panggil executive. Siapa yang duduk dalam, yang pakai Converse ni, siapa yang duduk dalam kreatif, itu adalah creative position in advertising industry in general. Right? So, kita narrow down. Okay, entry level position. Entry level positions. Maknanya entry level position ni fresh grad lah, without experience. So without experience ni nak ke diorang ambil? Ya memang nak lah diorang ambil, kan? So tapi kita tak ada pengalaman, tak ada pengalaman nak buat macam mana? You dah fresh grad. So tapi saya ada pengalaman jadi barista kat Starbucks. Pengalaman yang tak perlu tu tak perlulah letak kan. Saya pernah jadi Jasko, tak perlu letak resume you Do not worry. There's nothing to lose pun. You are fresh grad. They know you are fresh grad. Apa pengalaman yang you ada? Tu you punya portfolio lah. That's why saya tekankan portfolio tu, pengalaman tu. You working on that specific project, you enter a competition, you won that competition, kan? You present to JM Kelang, for instance, itulah portfolio you. Itulah pengalaman you. Pengalaman bekerja, janganlah, saya pernah bekerja sebagai tarik kabel Unify. Boleh masuk ke? Saya rasa tak boleh masuk lah kot. Kecuali kalau you nak apply kerja dekat Unify as a branding department and whatnot. That is a huge advantage for you lah, because you know Unify punya core business tu. Right, entry level positions. Tak sempat submit for competition. Competition apa tu bang? Logo. Okay, graphic designer ni saya punya first position dalam advertising adalah graphic designer. Itu yang memang saya nak jadilah. Memang saya pilih memang saya nak jadi itulah saya punya expertise, saya punya interest lah. Nak jadi graphic designer. Tak kisahlah masa tu nak masuk advertising ke tak ke apa ke, tapi alhamdulillah masuk advertising agency dekat Kelana Square. Kelana Square dekat belakang MBSA, belakang Kelana Jaya punya stadium tu. Kelana Square. Tahun berapa tu? 2002 kan? 2002. Kan? Tu position. And luckily that company tu is a local company, Far East company. Tapi dia punya job tu, masa tu kita buat Telekom Malaysia. Telekom Malaysia kita buat Celcom, banyak. We are one of the panel of Telekom Malaysia. Kita buat Streamix masa tu. And in fact during that time ada lagi card phone yang cocok card phone tu. Kita buat juga. Kita shoot gambar tu untuk jadikan card phone. Right. So that was my position lepas graduate. And then I developed to junior art director. Junior director saya ingat dalam 2 tahun jadi junior director. And then saya agak muda jugalah jadi art director ni, dalam 25 tahun saya jadi art director. Agak muda juga. Masa tu sound tinggi sikit lah. Okay. Right. Copywriter. That is and also entry level position. Junior copywriter dia bawah sikit. Contohnya kalau junior copywriter ni dia nak bagi you boleh imagine junior copywriter ni you boleh imagine, I don't know, zaman saya junior copywriter ni dia macam trainee lah. Macam trainee. Dia dah develop that interest tu, tapi copywriter atau senior copywriter dalam company tu dia train. So perhaps within 6 months atau 1 year you boleh dapat a full position copywriter tu. Okay, a content creator also an entry level position. Right? Okay, motion graphic designers bolehlah start junior copywriter dulu boleh. Tapi kalau ada position for copywriter, apply je. Tak ada masalah. Tak sesinya je. Sebenarnya tak ramai yang buat opening for junior copywriter. Dia buat copywriter saja. Kan? Tapi apply je. Tak ada masalah. Apply je. Right? Motion content creator, content creator is an entry level. Right? Motion graphic designer pun entry level positions. Yang pandai guna Premiere Pro, yang pandai guna After Effects, web designer ataupun UI UX web designer dah lama saya tak dengar. Zaman saya dulu web designer ni hot. Dia tahu design, and then dia tahu sedikit coding. Videographer, Videographer is also entry level position in creative department. not just in agency and also in clients atau associates. UI, users interface and users experience designer. This is a new, I think this is a new positions last 3 to 5 years lah. Yang buat apps, you know, yang not buat apps, yang design apps, the interface, the users experience. Yang buat apps tu adalah, you know, developer punya company lah. You work together lah. Graphic artist ni apa? Graphic artist ni yang buat layout. Kebanyakan graphic artist ni dia tak buat design dia susun layout composition. Yang dalam publishing. Dia buat magazine, dia susun magazine column by column, junior page and what not, susun. Dia susun buku teks, buat buku teks, dia susun. Tak banyak design, dia buat composition. Okay, zaman saya tu itulah graphic artist. Storyboard artist pun ada, you know. In fact, storyboard artist ni kebanyakannya dalam associates company lah. Illustrator ni yang buat kartun ni semua, saya tak sure sama ada Illustrator ni ada position ni tak. Saya zaman sekarang ni Illustrator ni kebanyakan yang dia hire for freelance lah. Not a full position, full time position. Same goes to photographer. Photographer pun saya rasa, you know, dia akan duduk dekat studio lah. Maknanya dia dekat associates kat sini. Associate consultant. Dalam agensi tak ada full photographer. Tapi dalam klien ni ada photographer. Ada photographer. Dia memang position dia photographer je. Right. So, dalam creative, which is creative department, senior position dia ni lah, creative director. A full-fledged creative director. A heavyweight creative director ni. Experience dia, 30 to 40 years of experience. Barulah you boleh, wow, dahsyat creative director ni, otak Ada juga yang heavyweight creative director, 10 years experience, yang middleweight creative director, 10 years experience pun dah boleh dapat creative director. Fine, tak apa rezeki dia. Ada juga yang lepas baru fresh grad ni. Saya creative director. Saya pun tengok termenung ingat macam mana awak boleh jadi creative director. Awak baru fresh grad ni kat saya creative director. Fine, tak apa, tak ada masalah. Legit, it's a legit position for you. Tetapi to be honest, creative director it comes with weightage of experiences. You know, 30 years experience in creative department in agency, that is definitely legit creative director. So dahsyat lah creative director ni. So macam mana jadi creative director ni? Kena start dengan sama ada you start as a copywriter or you can start as a graphic designer. Dua ni dia akan menuju kepada you punya a definite position. So you punya dream position tu, which is a creative director. Macam Jasmine Ahmad, she's a copy based creative director. Jadi dua, copy based atau visual based. Art director and senior copywriter atau copywriter, dia akan jadi creative director. Sama ada copywriter tu, you boleh tahu copywriter tu visual based ke atau dia copy based, kan? So di bawah tu junior director. Junior director ni junior director ni is a transition punya position to me. If you ask me during my time, I mean junior director tak lama, tak sampai setahun pun. Okay, transition. So dia macam bagi training dulu atau bagi task dulu lah, whether you can hold that art director position. And senior graphic designer ni, okay, when you want to become an art director, you kena tahu ideas and concept. Graphic designer dia hanya design saja. If you want to become a good graphic designer, you are able to throw your ideas, throw your ideas on the table. You boleh present on clients, you boleh give rationale to your designs, you boleh sketch, and you boleh keluarkan copy juga, so that you will become an art director. Art director ni kira dia bukan director company, dia bagi directions, art directions. Siapa yang bukan maknanya yang ada macam kawan saya umur nak dekat 50 tahun 40 lebih 40 lebih 77. Tak adalah dekat 50 tahun, 77 tu dalam 43 or something. Dia position dia senior graphic designer. Dia suka buat design. Dia tak nak pecah-pecah kepala fikir pasal idea konsep ke, because idea konsep ni sketch by art director. Okay, sketch buat. Dia suka buat tu, fine. So dia position ni adalah senior graphic designer. Walaupun dia dah lebih maybe 10 tahun, 20 tahun kerja, tapi dia suka buat design. Dia suka buat design tu. And then he also can earn a lot lah untuk freelance lah contohnya. Itulah senior position dalam kreatif. Kan? So graphic designer ni tak cool lah, tak popular lah. Tak popular, cubalah tengok kan. Berapa gaji dia? Cuba, I tell you what. Graphic designer ni dia bukan based on gaji saja tau. Kita ni ada banyak job luar ni yang lebih tinggi daripada gaji kita. Betul ke? Betul ke Azri Mazuki? You kerja as a graphic designer, at the same time you buat job freelance kat luar. You makan banyak kolam. Yeah, that is not impossible pun. That is, I believe that is a nature lah. Kan? Tetapi copywriter ni, kan, bila dia tak boleh buat design, dia bagi kat graphic designer. So graphic designer lah dapat duit contohnya. Copywriter, I ada job ni tapi I boleh buat copy je lah, tak boleh buat design lah, bagi kat you lah. Okay kan? AE ni pula bila dia dapat job luar, alamak tak boleh buat design ya, kan? Nak buat name card pun tak boleh ni, macam mana? You pergi kawan you kat graphic designer ni, bayarlah 2-300. Okay lah, lepas dia copy kan, lepas dia Starbucks kan? Saya nak join kreatif tapi nak masuk LCT macam mana? Boleh, why not? Zaid ni contohnya, Zaid dia nak masuk kreatif. Saya boleh share nanti. Okay, hold that thought dulu. Saya share dulu, hold that thought dulu. Okay, Zaid part apa? Zaid ni part apa? Part 6 Zaid yang macam asap mortar tu, ya ke? Tu Mio ke Zaid? Zaid. Saya Zaid ni gang ni kot. Okay, tak apa. Nanti saya jawab soalan awak. Now, you need to have balls tau. Not just to be in creative, to be in advertising in general. Betul tak? Kan? Testicle wanted. Siapa yang ada testicle lah. Right? Okay, so you are an advertising professional, sick and tired of being called derogatory names, name calling. Everything from a postman to a person without balls. You are an intelligent human being, skilled in the art of marketing communications, with a passion for great advertising and the courage to stand up for it. Sadly, your current agency's culture is to treat the beaten path. Semakin merudun lah, job tak ada. Okay, now here's a chance to prove that you are the ballsiest man in advertising. We at Concept are looking for experienced professional at all levels in advertising and PR. Surprisingly, ini adalah iklan daripada a local company tau, bukan international lah. Concept ni local company Saya kenal orang dia, art director dia. Okay, lama dah. Concept dah lama, Concept Communication memang power lah, 4A's company. Dia looking for a strategist, media planner, client servicing professionals, account executive, copywriters, art directors, media planner and PR professionals. Okay, send in your resume within 10 days to and quit being a wimp. Kan? You rasa kalau you masuk konsep ni macam mana? Konsep communication ni. Agak-agak you kena step back tak? 2-3 pagi.
Doctor, sorry to cut you off, but we need a break for few seconds. Probably
boleh. 5 minit lah, 5 minit.
Okay.
Boleh? Okay, boleh sama
Boleh.
sembang dulu 5 minit Macam mana
Boleh
saya
buka
nak
lagu
tutup?
dulu.
Boleh, macam mana saya? Okay, tak apa. Pukul 10, 15 lah. 10.15 saya akan datang balik ya. Okay. Now, sikit lagi ya. Executive pula, dia punya entry level positions adalah account servicing. Account servicing very, very popular. I tell you what, account servicing, during my years in advertising, account servicing ni is quite unique position especially. Because it is not based on experience, years of experience. Dia based on what clients you serve tau. Kan? Dia based on what client you serve. Contohnya, walaupun you adalah junior account servicing, tak sampai setahun, tapi you dah serve account MACD, you dah serve account Proton, you dah serve account, EcoWorld, SamDabi and whatnot, you dah build within that 6 months, 7 months, you dah build a good relationship with clients. Kan? Client suka dengan you. Tetapi at one point you dapat offer daripada Grey for instance. Kan? So akan menjadi satu situation bila you dah pindah kat Grey, you punya client juga akan ikut pergi kat Grey. Contohnya, saya pernah nampak benda berlaku right? So you punya weightage you not so much on experience, the account that you handle. Apa lagi lah bila dah 5 tahun handle account, banyak account you handle. Some of your clients, maybe you dah kahwin pun dengan client tu contohnya, kan? So you have a personal relationship pun ada juga, kan? Macam-macam dekat in advertising ni macam-macam kan? Okay. That is account servicing atau account executive. Account servicing ni, account executive ni dulu dengan kreatif pada zaman saya, kita orang belaga angin tau. Because kita gelarkan account servicing ni is an overpaid dispatch. Gaji dia besar kecil kecil gaji dia orang ni. Dia dispatch je. Dia pergi klien, dia ambil brief, di masa sebelum MCO lah. Dia ambil brief, dia balik, dia bagi dekat kreatif. Lepas tu dia tunggu, duk tanya dia, dah siap belum? Bila siap belum? Klien dah call nak present ni contohnya. Lagi parah bila dia balik tu hari Jumaat petang lah. Jumaat petang dia balik office, dia lenggang, dia bagi job brief tu dekat art director atau creative director. Nak bila ni? Nak Isnin pagi. So kita kena step back lah. So that is an overpaid dispatch. Dispatch yang gaji yang besar. Right? Media planner is a popular position right now. Macam saya cakap, digital media planner, digital advertising, dia memerlukan banyak position especially dalam standalone media agency. Right? Social media executive pun sounds a new position to me, because social media ni dia the evolution of social media not just in Facebook, YouTube and IG and Twitter saja. Ada banyak. We talk about targeted advertising, you talk about AI, you talk about AR and whatnot. That is social media in general. Kan? The behavior of users experience in social media, itulah dia. Okay? Advertising account planner pun ada, client strategist pun ada juga, branding executive. Branding executive ni kebanyakannya dalam executive company setup. Dalam Maxis for instance, branding executive. Dalam EcoWorld for instance, dalam SamDabi, dalam Genting Group, dalam itu semua branding executive. Right? Event executive. I have friends yang ramai juga Chinese yang kerja dalam event executive. Unfortunately during COVID ni dia quite struggle juga. Because tak boleh buat event kan. Production executive pun ada yang bekerja dalam production company. Macam dia bekerja, ada yang jadi PA artist pun ada sebenarnya. Okay? A traffic controller, market research analyst yang kerja dekat probably a research company contohnya. At Khazanah, saya ada seorang student saya dulu tahun berapa, lupa. Perempuan yang kerja sebagai senior research analyst dekat Khazanah company. Khazanah tu jadi research department. Advertising buyer ni interesting. Kalau awak kenal advertising buyer atau advertising sales executive. Encik Rozaini dulu dia adalah advertising buyer atau advertising sales manager I think. Okay. Dia bekerja dekat NST. NST tu dulu kan, zaman dulu kan traditional platform or traditional medium ni kan ada banyak iklan kat newspaper. So advertising buyer ni pergi dekat sponsor kat Proton, bagi good red card, full color, junior page, black and white, half page and whatnot to the clients. Digital advertising executive, web advertising analytics. Okay, ini adalah semua entry level. Kalau senior position, you tahu lah, account director tu kira hotel lah. Account manager tu, senior planning manager, right? Account, client specialist, all senior and manager positions. Dalam agency atau dalam client atau dalam associates atau dalam media. Itu semua adalah executive position in advertising industry in general. Right? Okay. Now, ni adalah Lear Burnett punya iklan opening. We are looking for an account manager with a passion for cars. Account manager ni kita memang mantul lah. Kurang-kurang pun, I rasa kalau Mustang tu bukan level dia lah. Mustang ni banyak level MLM ni. So kurang-kurang pun, Porsche, for instance. Right. An account manager who easily handles our biggest client. A soft-spoken person, a good communication skills, good PR skills, right? An account executive, nampak tu, who turn into a pit bull if need be. A pit bull, dia cakap, a pit bull, bukan lembu, a pit bull, right? So maknanya, 2-3 pagi, klien call ada problem, kan, dia datang pergi office, settle kan, klien call 2-3 pagi, kena angkat. Contoh. I've seen that situation before. Saya nampak. An account director who leads with experience. Interested? More info, mail to lb.be. BE ni mana? BE ni mana? Okay, now next one. Now, I want to share some of your seniors. Ini surprisingly, I tell you what, dua-dua your seniors ni yang saya akan bagi contoh ni, they are not from Mescom. They are not Mescomite. They are not from Lendu. They are not, Rembau pun tak ada masa tu. They are not from Lendu. Pat ni adalah art and design student. Okay, sama macam saya. Saya adalah art and design student. Saya bukan Mescom student. Right? So Pat ni, if you ask me personally, I teach him. I think part 4 creative advertising lah. Pat. Part 4. Dia daripada kelas A Pat. Nama dia Firdaus. I tell you what, Naga DBB ni susah nak masuk Naga DBB ni. Susah. Most of the mainstream brand yang you nampak tu adalah owned by Naga DBB. Dia serve that account to that extent. Susah nak masuk. Susah juga nak keluar daripada Naga ni. Because patch ke saya, dia ada juga dapat offer tapi dia counter. Gigi, Astro, Gegar Baganza ni semua dia buat lah. Kan? Astro Mahathir Lawak lah dia buat lah. Proton, KFC memang dia buat lah. Okay? Manchis Tourism Malaysia and whatnot. Naga BB ni susah nak masuk. And in fact, ramai juga student saya yang apply for Naga BB untuk intern. Tak ramai yang dapat. And seorang je yang dapat. Nama dia Ali Saiful. Kenal Ali Saiful? Alhamdulillah, dia dapat masuk as an intern graphic designer, Ali Saiful. And he got hired. Alhamdulillah. Tak perlu pergi interview. Dia got hired. Alhamdulillah. I dengar dia jadi senior graphic designer ke junior director, lupa. I rasa senior graphic designer. Sudah lebih kat 4 tahun juga lah. Right? So, ini adalah kita punya senior. I rasa renowned copywriter kat Malaysia ni. Watson. Kalau you perasan iklan ni, iklan yang hitam tu, yang dayang senang dong apa tu dia punya idea tu. Now, these are some of the slide that he shared. First brief. Account executive datang, bawa contact brief atau contact report, and then dia brainstorm. Brainstorm for big idea. Brainstorm dengan siapa? Dengan copywriter, dengan ada designer juga masuk, ada art director juga masuk, ada juga creative director juga masuk. So, mostly macam tu lah. Brainstorm, buat research sikit, previous campaign, competitors campaign, the directions. Macam tu lah masa saya dalam agency. Creative director leads, and in fact dulu dia full-fledged tau. Bila company besar ni dia ada team dia. KFC dia ada team. Contoh macam Watsons dia ada team sendiri. Dia ada art director sendiri, dia ada designer sendiri, dia ada copywriter sendiri. Tapi bila contohnya macam Pepsi juga dia ada creative director sendiri, dia ada art director sendiri. Maknanya company tu besar, an international company. Sampai macam tu. A very specific brand for a very specific team. I'm talking about team. Ada designer, sini ada designer. Designer ni tak buat kerja KFC, dia buat kerja Proton je, dia buat kerja DJ je. Designer tak buat kerja DJ, dia buat kerja Astro dengan tu je, nampak tu. Besar lah kerja tu. So basically what they do is that to understand the brief of target market. Some data got from media planning department. Some data, some brief they receive from account servicing. They need to define the problem. Ingat tak kita buat the do it creative process tu. The do, define the problem, open your mind, identify a solution. T apa? Transform. Ini betul sekali saya nak tipu ni. Saya bukan cakap based on buku ni, based on my experience. Lepak art mamak ni biasalah during my time lah. Betul. I spend most of my times lah. Lunch ke, breakfast ke, except for weekend lah. Weekend pun dia ada family lah, kan lepak juga weekend kan. Most of the time saya spend dengan suami copywriter. Lepak, brainstorm. Ada kalau kita duduk office ni, susah. Tengok movie. Masa tu pot yang paling best pergi IKEA contohnya. Lepak. Tapi masa kerja ni. Nak guide idea tu. Observe. Kan? Naik LRT. Kan? Nampak macam tipu. Tapi itulah dia. Kan? Sembang boleh lah. Tapi itulah dia. Lepak and mama. At some point, because creativity ideas is very subjective. Saya dah ajar masa kreatif. Accidentally, deliberately, ada proses dia. And sometimes bila you tengah bukan tengah tidur lah, ataupun bukan tengah berak lah, most of the time dalam toilet lah, idea tu ada. So you need to jot down ni. And sometimes even you are not working on that specific account pun, that specific brand, idea tu you boleh gunakan untuk account-account lain contohnya. Find an angle or four solutions. And tada, that is the end product. This is how creative people brainstorm, asking questions, can find problems, because asking questions is a most unique creative process. Anak saya ni asyik duk tanya benda tu simple tapi duk tanya kan. Sebab dia curiosity tu. Kan? As a child, as we get older, kita dah tak tanya soalan tu because we are lacking of creativity. Kita dah kurang bertanya. Kan? Kadang-kadang kita dah tahu pun jawapannya. Kita tanya lagi budak-budak ni kan. Kan? Macam tadi sebelum nak start ni kan. Saya nak suruh budak-budak anak saya ni diam sikit kat rumah malam-malam ni kan. Dia cakap, okay, pukul 9 ni jadi bagi handphone daripada pukul 7 tadi sebelum maghrib. Pukul 9 dia bagi handphone. Nanti duduk senyap. So duduk tanya, dah pukul 9 belum? Belum lagi. Sekarang pukul berapa? Belum lagi. Dia bagi handphone dia. Banyak kali tanya. Pukul 9 ni sekarang ni dia tengah main handphone. So habis session ni saya ambil balik handphone tu. Right. Now next one. Azam pun interesting. Dia sama batch dengan Pat, dengan Firdaus. Sama batch. 4 batch A Okay. Ramai yang banyak a good interesting character dalam this batch. Azam ni I ingat dia belajar information technology I think. Ataupun dia rasa dia belajar information technology ataupun dia belajar computer science, saya lupa. Dia dekat Sri Iskandar. Dia tak kreatif tapi dia lebih analytics, numbers and figures and whatnot. And yes, alhamdulillah dia jadi senior media planner sekarang ni dekat publicist. Okay? Brand besar publicist ni, Nestle, Nescafe, Costa, Dali, Hyundai, interesting. Right? These are some of the slide that he showed during that time. Nampak? Ini proses dia untuk jadi media planner. Ingat, media planning tadi part apa? Part 4. Part 4. Walaupun you belajar dengan this lecturer, tapi kalau you betul-betul nak jadi media planner, you kena bukan hanya setakat dalam kelas tu. You kena put your very heart and soul. Baca, read, tengok video, get inspired. Campaign brief for client, developing media plan and media strategy, engage with respective media owner. Ni yang saya cakap tadi. Astro, YouTube, Google, Facebook, apa lagi? Big Three, kan? Newspaper, The Star and whatnot. Present media strategy to client. Raise media schedule lah. Media schedule ni dia, tapi jangan risau, dia ada punya software lah. Provide interim report. Campaign optimization atau ada troubleshoots. Last kali, provide post campaign report to client. This is your process. Ini bukan saya ambil daripada internet Ini adalah a real process, especially from publicist, from a senior planning manager. Right? Macam this one mapping out the campaign, a passive campaign atau active campaign, building curiosity and interest. Mula-mula sekali, based on this slide, you kena build a curiosity and interest. Ingat tak? Dalam AIDA tu, a basic model, awareness, interest, desires and action. Interest and desire tu part yang paling susah sekali. Awareness, you can put your designs, your posters and campaign towards all platforms, tak ada masalah. Tetapi how do we trigger the interest and the desire of the audience tu? Itu penting. Itu yang paling susah sekali. Building curiosity and interest, raise awareness and kickstart the conversation around the Free Justice League merchandise. Ini adalah untuk Dali promotion with every purchase of selected Dali's product. Nampak? Adalah press, ada YouTube ad, point of sales promotion to declutter the crowded shelf space to attract old fans and build new one. Point of sale apa? Macam POV Maybe you buat gathering atau event dekat Jesse ke, dekat TGV ke, and whatnot. Right? Part ni. Dali tied up with Warner Bros. This is a brand collaboration to leverage and promote the upcoming Justice League movie schedule which release in November 17. Dia punya objektif dia increase market share to achieve total Dali. Ini tak tahu ni. Kan? Maknanya dia punya kompetitor siapa? Kompetitor dia adalah Colgate, Safi ke, apa ke. Increase weight of purchase. At the end of the day, not just awareness, weight of purchase juga must increase. Prevent brand switches. This is interesting. Prevent brand switches from switching. Nak kekalkan the brand loyalty tu. Right? To prompt the Justice League merchandise. Ini target audience ni. isteri atau housewife 25-49 yang working adult, bajet dia bukan sikit ya bang, 684,000 media saja, bukan kredit ya. Now last but not least, okay, please save lah session ni please, nak kena keluar dah. Yap. Okay Zaid, COVID-19 the challenges. Yep, unfortunately, this is the what I call it, an unfortunate year lah. 2020 for us is a huge challenge, not just for in advertising in general, for any business atau businesses, right? For any brand, not just consumer, a white collar, a blue collar, semua kena, tak terkecuali, right? Tak terkecuali. Footballer pun kena, right? Now, general challenges, advertising practitioners, especially students who wants to enter the industry later on in the next couple of years. COVID-19 is changing consumer behavior and therefore advertising too. Consumer behavior, product, brand, advertising juga has a huge impact to their, to the market share, right? To their ROI. People spending and consumption patterns make it hard to determine. Make it hard to determine. Right? People spending and consumptions, whether they move to online, whether their household income is supplementary for that particular month, kan? Spending behavior. Many elements of human behavior also are going to change permanently. Betul tak? Many elements of human behavior are going to change permanently. It means that kalau orang tu tak makan luar, dia makan dalam je, atau dia order dekat Foodpanda ke, dia akan permanently stick to that platform, contohnya. Kan, dia tak makan luar lagi dah. Kan, contohnya. Right? So, brand categories to be most impacted by COVID, obviously travel and tourism lah. Memang, declining. Yeah? Memang huge declining. In fact, ad spending pun memang declining. You talk about Airbnb, Booking.com, sales memang declining. Retail, brick and mortar, retail, shopping mall, tak ada orang pergi shopping mall. Restaurant, obviously, automotive, and apparel and fashions. Most of the, travel and tourism lah, are most affected. So, positive outcomes. Advertisers of all sizes focus on message, a brand communication. They need to sit down to look again what are the best strategy for a brand for that particular brand communications. Perhaps they need to do to create an emotional approach, kan? Tied up dengan the situation, the COVID situation right now, so that they can get huge awareness. For instance, online and digital bets paid off. Before this year, memang ada spending on digital, but dia accelerate more on online and digital platforms, not just social media. We talk about an apps, digital payment platforms, right? Social media step ups and pays off. Surprisingly, guys, TV viewership went up. During this pandemic, MCO, PKPB, kan, most of us spend time dalam rumah. So, maknanya, in-home advertising tu, whether it's on television, TV, whether it's on mobile, whether it's on Netflix ke, atau apa-apa Flix ke, ad spends focusing more towards in-home rather than out of home. Maknanya dia kurangkan spend untuk billboards, untuk wrapping, untuk events outdoor contohnya. Tetapi banyak spend dekat in-home advertising. Alright? Contohnya ya, in-home advertising, not just commercial in particular, product placement, brand placement, dekat Gegar Baganza ke, dekat Majalah Awak ke, dekat this, ada crawler lah, ada pop-up on TV, dekat berita utama ke, and what not. Yep. Acceleration of digital adoption and e-commerce. I mentioned just now, the Touch and Go wallet lah, ada banyak lah Boost and what not. They also spend. I mean that is the very convenient platforms for consumers right now, right? And last but not least, this is advertising new norms. I get feedback from your seniors. Okay, dengar betul ni. Ada 3-4 orang yang saya tanya tadi. During this COVID, banyak kan dia offer dia contract base lah. Contract base maknanya contohnya kalau you kalau yang part 4, part 5 ni atau part 6 ni kerja, dia contract base dia tak ikat. Dulu dia ada permanent lah. Maknanya 3 months probation atau 6 months probation and then permanent. Contract base ni maknanya dia ikat you paling minimum 3 bulan. And then dia renew 3 bulan. Paling lama pun 1 tahun ataupun 6 bulan contract base. And then review balik. Tapi salary tu yang generally salary tu untuk apprentice tu macam tu lah. 27, 28 tu standard. Dia tak turun tak naik. Maybe allowance tu turun because of the pandemic ni, because dia tak jumpa klien kan. Dia tak ada minyak ke, tak ada parking ke apa, it's all through online. So contract base ni maknanya yes you get hired tapi you receive ramai yang dapat contract base. Tak kisahlah agency ke, executive ke, ramai yang dapat offer contract base. Tapi you tak boleh. You kena faham lah situation dia orang juga. Right? That is the reality right now. Contract base pun bukan you pekerja kontrak yang angkat. Cement tu no. Maknanya contract base tu dia renew. Okay? Because of the because of this pandemic lah. Macam hari tu ingat dah okey dah, ni naik balik. So adalah dia punya calculations, forecasting towards that markets lah. Realigning priorities and objectives. It is hard for them to stick to the priorities and objectives when you are working far from the office. You can imagine lah. I can also imagine a briefing between creative department. Every morning, every twice a week, kan? Progress meeting, WIP meeting. Macam mana tu? Kan? Tak boleh nak tampal, tak boleh nak sini, and then duduk lama-lama depan komputer pun tak boleh nak, no? Excuse me, tak boleh nak lepak mamak. Kan? New challenges advertising team face working remotely. Macam Nabila tadi, dia bekerja tu, tapi dia duduk Perak. Office kat KL. Kan? Right? Inability to effectively collaborate in real time, not just in team, dalam company tu team, tetapi yang paling renyahnya adalah within clients, collaborate real time with clients. Itulah cabarannya. Managing clients communications, tu pun cabarannya. Yes, before COVID memang kita ada banyak email and what not. And then walaupun email tu adalah ada hiccups here and there, tapi kita boleh jumpa, explain, kita boleh ask them for lunch ke, ask them for movie ke, ask them for dinner ke. Tapi during this time, tak boleh. Kita tak boleh face to face. It is a contactless communications lah. Managing clients communications, and sometimes ada loophole, ada hiccup here and there, ada noise di tengah-tengah tu. Tak dapat email ni, kenapa tak CC sini, innovation. This is important. During this company, there's a lot of innovations coming in, shifting in budget and consumer behavior. yes, advertiser spendings are decreasing, but still, when it comes to a company's budget, sorry, not company's budget, company's profit, ada dia punya kaedahnya, untuk shift the budget, make it cost effective, make it very appealing to the audience, but at the same time, it is just sufficient enough to for advertising agency to get profits lah, right? Okay, last, banyak last ni sikit ni. Tips number 1. Sebelum ke 11, insyaAllah. Atas lebih kita berhenti. Ada 3 tips.
Because of technical error, so lepas doktor bagi tips nanti kita kena break sekejap je.
Okay, boleh, tak ada masalah. Sikit ni, sikit ni.
Okay, boleh.
Ada 3 tips. Number 1, you need to value your interest. Kalau you suka design, invest in design. Do design. Invest in design. Create your portfolio. Number 2, develop your portfolio as the earlier as in semester 2. Penting. Most of you think that portfolio ni design je ke? No, portfolio is your writing, your thoughts and views on this current pandemic, your thoughts and views on Apple market share, iPhone market share, your thoughts and view on iPhone 12 yang tak ada charging ni, tapi still orang beli juga. To relate dengan consumer behavior kan. Put it in writing, put it on your blog, put it on your online portfolio. That's how you develop your portfolio. Ni berbuih mula saya cakap ni. Kan? Fine. So, ada student yang tak ada portfolio tapi dapat kerja. Tak apalah, tu rezeki dia. Kan? Buat, insyaAllah you have a huge advantage lah. Strong indications lah. Better lah, confident lah. Bila pergi dekat interview. And last but not least, be inspired, be creative. Again I mentioned just now, you need to put a lot of efforts to become creative. Siapa yang dah lahir kreatif ni pun kena juga efforts. Jangan cakap kreatif je, mana your portfolio? Mana your writing? So mana you punya assignment? Mana you punya project? Creativity ni bukan naik Leo kan. Itu orang jual marketing, direct marketing okey lah. Creativity ni dalam advertising, you need to jot down, write down, design, put it on your portfolio. Be creative, engage dengan creative environments. Macam saya, I inspired from, I always get inspired from Yasmin, for instance. Okay? Always get inspired from Steve Jobs. Saya bukan jadikan dia idola lah. I inspired, not just Steve Jobs, Apple brands, they make designs, they make campaigns, dia punya strategy. So be inspired. Be inspired. Right? And so Q&A sessions. And sebelum tu maybe saya boleh skip sikit. Last slide. Now, last God gives everyone the same amount of talent. Betul tak? Yeah. It is just up to you to korek kan? Takkan orang lain pula nak korek. You lah yang korek. It is up to you to korek. Develop your interest. God give everyone the same amount of talents. Kan? Whether accidentally or deliberately, you need to put a lot of efforts. Whether for you to be creative, whether for you to be a good writer, a creative writer, whether for you to be a good photographer, a good painter, it's up to you to correct and develop. Thank you very much guys. Assalamualaikum. Kita nak break dulu ni.
Kita boleh open Q&A session untuk students. Kalau doktor okey ke? Boleh go lagi?
Saya okey. Saya a nice person.
Oh.
Saya a nice person.
Okay, so kita
Okay,
kita tukar, kita break dulu.
Okay, kita break dulu and then kita tanya soalan.
Okay, boleh.
Alright.
Thank you. Okay. Hi everyone, welcome back. So banyak ilmu doktor kongsi dengan kita, especially about struggle or the truth about being a creative person, some of his experience in the industry, as well as challenges during COVID. So sekarang we're back with a Q&A session, and tadi Zaid ada soalan pasal nak join kreatif tapi dia dah masuk eksekutif. So doktor akan respon lah, jawab soalan tu.
Alright. Baru saya ingat Zaid ni adalah presiden agensi dulu Okay. Zaid. Alright. No, Zaid tadi nak cakap dia nak masuk kreatif tapi tak nak masuk agensi. Okay. Tapi dia nak laid back sikit. Dia nak pakai smart, pakai tie, pakai long sleeve tapi nak masuk executive company. Boleh. Ada satu tips yang saya boleh share. Tips ni saya dapat daripada saya punya kawan lah masa dalam advertising dulu. So tips ni juga boleh digunakan oleh account servicing. Apa dia buat? Dia buka bskl.com. Bursa Malaysia. Not this one. Wow. Bursa Malaysia. Okay, buka Bursa Malaysia, for instance. Right. Dekat sini ada listing tau. Not this one. Regulation dia. Okay, dekat sini ada listing directories. So, company yang masuk main market ni, bawah ni ada main market main market. Main market ni at least yang saya tahu 50 million sebenarnya ROI lah. Per year. Main market ni adalah company-company yang besar, dia adalah masuk dalam, kebanyakannya dalam IPO. So, macam mana you nak bekerja dalam company-company yang main market dalam BSKL ni, which is executive, client side ni client side. Sini ada banyak, saya rasa ada almost 1,000 lah. Dia go by alphabetical order. Contohnya lah, kita klik lah dekat Alcom Group Berhad ni. Alcom ni apa lah, dia buat apa lah contohnya. Alcom Group Berhad, you klik kat Alcom ni. Okay, ni dia punya market, and then you boleh tengok dekat annual report ni, for instance, you boleh tengok annual report, you boleh tengok company website. Kalau you pergi company website, kan, you boleh tahu dia ni buat apa sebenarnya. Annual report dia 2019. Okay, Group Berhad. Alcom ni dia buat apa? Dia buat manufacturing. Okay. Dalam Alcom ni, dia ada corporate department tau. Dia buat property, dia buat manufacturing. Cuba tengok dia punya home. Okay. Nampak? Dia buat aluminium. Okay, dia buat semualah, banyaklah. And dalam ni, dia juga ada, kadang-kadang dia ada carrier, dia ada contact, nampak? Dia ada contact. You boleh post, nampak? You boleh post your resume inside, ataupun you boleh cari dia punya HR manager, okay, dalam, let me see, report, this one report. Cuba tengok report dia. Kita tengok report 2019. Kan, Alcom. Hold on, Dave. Sometimes they provide what I call it organization structure. Okay, you boleh go through BSK companies and you boleh deposit your resume to this company. Whether you want to be a graphic designer ke, writer ke, advertising and sales ke, you boleh pergi, you boleh deposit. This is how account executive, they actually find client through BSKL. Okay, lagi satu company kita check, and then kita move to next questions. Pergi kepada listing, right? Pergi pada trade, pergi pada listing, not regulation I think. Which one tadi lupa saya. And then you boleh cari company tu, yang company yang you minat, listing directories. Okay, go for main market. Okay, kita cari satu company, for instance like kita cari satu company yang Carlsberg tak nak lah, Carlsberg tak boleh ya. Kita cari satu contohnya CYL Corporation for instance. Kan? CYL Corporation ni buat apa? Kita go for their company website. Right? And then kebanyakannya dia ada career sini. You boleh tengok company profile. Dia buat apa ni? Dia buat molding technologies. Company ni walaupun dia buat molding technologies, tapi kalau boleh go for macam huge segment, market segments like telco ke ataupun property ke. Cuba last DRB Highcom. Okay. DRB Highcom adalah manufacturing, automobiles, ada banyak business dalam tu. Kita tengok dia punya company website and a report. Right? DRB Highcom dekat mana? Dekat Glenmary ya. Dulu dia own Proton. Sekejap, nampak pula ni. Okay, you boleh tengok, and then normally big company sih dia ada carrier, dia ada trainee, right? So let me see annual report. Okay, part 1. Tak. Cuba tengok dalam dia. Biasa dia adalah. Okay. Dia ada organisation, you boleh go through their annual reports. Okay, dia tengah under maintenance kot. Right, that's how you find a placement dalam client side. Whether you want to be executive ke, nak be creative ke, ada dalam tu. And in fact, saya nampak bank negara, dia punya position tu art manager. Dia lebih kurang macam art director, tapi dia art manager. Dia buat design untuk web, untuk any in-house punya design, poster, banner ke apa ke, untuk Bank Negara Malaysia. Kita tengok. Saya boleh nampak iklan dia. Okay, Bank Negara Malaysia. Okay, kita tengok about carriers. Nampak carriers. Ini adalah client side. Relationship management. Boy, this is you guys. Jangan sampai terlepas dekat PR advertising student. Nampak? First level executive. Gaji besar ni bang.
Wow.
Nampak apa role dia? Business plan. Interesting. You never know. Right? Any degree or professional qualification, strategic management, at least second class apa. Kan? So, interesting. Experience 2 years. 2 years pun tak. 2 years pun apply je. You tak apply, you tak dapat. So, dia 2 years saja. Habis you apply tak apply. You tak apply, tak dapat lah. Kan? There's no chances.
So, maksudnya walaupun dia tulis 2 years, but it doesn't matter if we don't have 2 years experience?
Apply. You never know.
Oh, okay.
Saya pun dalam masa saya agensi, saya ada interview. Kadang kita letak tinggi sangat. 5 tahun untuk copywriter. Kan? Ataupun 3 tahun untuk graphic designers. Tinggi sangat. Tetapi yang apply tu fresh grad. So instead of saya bayar seorang gaji maybe dalam 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 untuk seorang, saya ambil fresh grad 2 orang, saya boleh train. Faham tak? So you never know. Kalau you tak apply, chances kosong. You apply, at least chances, even 1% pun ada chances. Kadang-kadang dia nak tahu je, nak tengok awak punya karakter. Pergi call out for interview. Surprisingly, Bank Negara call me walaupun fresh grad. Walaupun tak ada opening for fresh grad. Dia call you just to, maybe dia suka tengok you punya writing, you are passionate, dia buat profiling sikit, tengok IG. Wah, IG semua lawa. Dia nak panggil lah Adeline ni. Macam mana rupa ni? Tengok, comel pula ni. Very talkative, very passionate. Why not ambil lah? Kan? kita ada jadi PA ni lah, PA untuk governor siapa governor negara. Why not? You never know. Ramai yang saya jumpa, saya tak apply nak buat macam mana? Okey, cuba tengok apa lagi? Research analytics pun ada. Dalam ni ada deposit room. Kadang-kadang tak ada position branding ke apa benda ke, apply je. Why not? Apply je. No harm at all. Alright. Ingat BSKL, siapa yang nak kerja dalam eksekutif, siapa yang jadi AE macam Nabila tu nak cari klien, pergilah kat BSKL. Cari klien jangan call, saya nak jumpa lah ni. No, bawa sekali proposal sekali and barulah boleh deal lepas tu. Okay, next one. Sir, saya bercita-cita untuk jadi producer. Possible ke melalui advertising? Producer apa ni? Producer music ke? Producer filem ke?
Most likely producer music kot, from Azri Marzuki.
I rasa nak jadi producer ni, I think dia no specific position untuk opening for music producer. No. You nak jadi producer music, if you ask me in general, you kena, dia bukan macam dulu dulu dia ada scouting talent you pergi dekat funfair ke mana ke you masuk dekat rancangan reality ke apa ke, boleh lah jadi music and jadi producer. I rasa you can produce your own music, get recognized your work, get others recognize your work. Kan saya ingat ada Muaz student saya Muaz dulu, dia produce music, dia buat hip hop sendiri, and then adalah sikit dapatlah sikit ultimate and what not. Saya rasa itulah jalan dia tak ada specific opening for music producer. You can macam Amar Alif kan, Amar Alif ni Amir Alif, dia menyanyi, maknanya mungkin family dia promote, pergi dekat radio station, buat music sendiri, keluar si recording, dia penyanyi. At the same time dia boleh produce lagu, dia buat small concert. That's how I think that's how the business when it comes to get the higher rankings lah. You need to get yourself recognized. You never know whether you are a one time single punya lagu ke, you never know. I rasa lah, just try lah, betul kan. You buat lah, buka YouTube kan, macam Yuna tu, dia nampak macam mana kan. Just shoot your shot. Betul. Sebab dia punya bidang ni, dia very organic tau, music especially kan. Okay,
ada lagi satu last question from Salimi. Dia tanya, kalau minat saya lebih kepada bidang MC dan voice over, macam mana nak connectkan bidang dengan bidang advertising?
Okay, now ada lagi soalan tu. MC voice over, I tell you what, siapa tadi? Salimi Salimi ni student saya last semester and then pun dia ada juga buat job kecil bayar dia lah. Student budak part 4 ni bayar dia ke tak bayar ke untuk apa, untuk radio ad ke apa kan. Salimi, voice over ni buat part time jangan buat full time. Your full time is your career. Voice over MC ni bukan career. Jangan, kalau awak tanya saya personally, jangan jadikan MC ni full career for a fresh grad. Jadikan dia part time. Lama-lama orang recognize you, you boleh jadikan benda tu full time. Tetapi jadikan dia part time. You bekerja sebagai copywriter tapi you ada talent buat voice over. Buat part time. That's it. Kan? You kerja kat advertising, dia nak voice talent, dia nak voice over, ada buat event, Selcom launching, nak guna MC, you jadi part time. You being recognized. That is a part time job. Your full-time job, you must kickstart your job in advertising atau in any industry as a full-time career. Tetapi MC ni jadikan dia sebagai part-time. Trust me. Kalau minat saya lebih kepada bidang MC, ya, minat tu jadikan part time because dia tak ada specific position. Opening, tiba-tiba lah Maybank keluar position. Okay, we are opening for MC position dekat Maybank. Position dia MC executive. MC executive? Tak dengar pun kan? No, jadikan sebagai part time. Kebanyakan MC ni dia hire through part time. And buatlah macam mana nak promote. Buat YouTube, buat TikTok. Promote you punya MC tu, voice tu. Banyak saya tengok. Kan? Sekarang ni promote dahsyat. Kan? So that's how you actually dia macam dalam music juga lah, dalam industri kreatif juga. Okay? Okay, sir, I trust you, sir. Tadi macam Azri kalau nak jadi director untuk TV ad. Wow. Semua tinggi-tinggi producer, director, dia tak nak rendah-rendah, dia nak tinggi je.
Cita-cita tinggi, sir.
Bagus lah. Cita-cita tinggi bagus.
Yes.
Okay? Somehow, somewhere, you need to kickstart dengan advertising. Director ni, dia ada a good eyes in cinematography, dia boleh script, dia boleh menulis, dia boleh shoot, dia tahu pasal fotografi, dia boleh edit. Kat mana bidang dia tu? You tak, kecuali kalau bapa you kaya, kan? Bukan TVC, you boleh jadi director for film, tak ada masalah. So you can start pada bawah. Untuk TVC, normally you go for production. Tetapi I tell you what lah, biasanya director untuk TV, I'll give you examples. I saw a music TV yang you memang sangat cute, yang pakai one shot punya tu kan, punya movie, punya apa, YouTube, apa, music video tu. Itu adalah director. Tetapi adakah position dia adalah director? Kan? Director company ni, you kena recognize, you get recognized. You kena build you punya connections, you punya networking. Faham tak? You kena produce. Bukan ada opening for TV commercial producer. No, tak ada. Kan? So kebanyakannya you kena tahu yang mana full time career ataupun yang mana a career that leaning to that position, TVC director. Kan? Sebenarnya TVC director ni any average person boleh jadi TVC director kalau dia tahu, kalau dia kreatif. Kan? Tapi apa kerja you supaya orang boleh recognize? Dia tengok dalam YouTube, you post on YouTube, you punya drone handling cantik, kan? You juga boleh buat scripts, you punya transition cantik, kan? You boleh main After Effects. What? Itu pula ada Amir Alif ni nak buat nak launch dia punya single kan? Azri, you boleh direct tak? See, Azri direct pula meletup lah. Sudah. Kan? Amir Alif punya music video ni. So, maknanya your job to being recognized. Kan? Tengok 20 juta, 30 juta. Just in 1 week dia orang tengok. Kan? So, you been recognized. Because director TVC ni sebenarnya dia datang dari kecil tu. You direct movie, you direct music video, maybe you direct small short film, you enter short video competition, buat portfolio and then barulah orang recognize. Jangan malu untuk tunjukkan you punya work. Create a YouTube channel, tak kisahlah berapa subscriber pun. Post. Kan? Kalau nak jadi, saya suka tengok Casey Neistat. Dia punya transitions, dia punya drone punya handling, dia punya especially transition yang dahsyat lah dalam YouTube. Ada lagi nak dengar saya punya ni? Okay, boleh saya ke Adeline nak berhenti dah?
Saya tak kisah.
Okay.
So okay lagi.
Saya boleh entertain sikit lagi. Sikit lagi. Jom Amir, boleh collaborate dengan Azri Mazuki ni. Tak kisahlah, free pun tak apalah. Cuba tengok dulu. Kan? So most of this job fixed and ada allowance ke, or some of them ada include commission. Kalau ada commission, commission tu biasanya account servicing account servicing commission. Kalau you bawa account tu dalam company tu, contohnya You punya uncle ni, you kerja sebagai account servicing, account executive. As a junior, but fresh grad. Along the way, you punya uncle tu kerja dekat mana? Dekat Proton. Uncle you pula manager advertising advertising and promotion manager dekat Proton. Proton ni pula nak keluar X50. So company yang you kerja ni contohnya Densu, so you dapat contact uncle you bawa masuk buat pitching. You pergi kat bos, I have this account. My uncle is there. And he's normally handle all this advertising and promotion campaign for Proton. So company Densu tu takkanlah nak panggil orang lain so serve. Normally you akan bawa nama Densu tu jumpa uncle you, and luckily you been awarded that campaign atau that account kan, for probably 2 years lah. So commission tu you akan deal dengan company, maybe for a 400,000 job, 400,000 amount of account tu kan, maybe dapat 3% because you yang bawa account tu. Sebab you yang bawa account tu. Kalau account tu memang ada, kadang-kadang ada commission, kadang-kadang tak ada commission, but it depends. Tetapi if you ask me, yang ada commission ni selalunya account executive. Okay, kenapa you nak sangat yang commission ni? Okay, tak apa. Yang ada commission normally account executive. Media planning tak ada commission. Kreatif pun tak ada commission. Tetapi kreatif dia banyak buat freelance. Kita boleh panggil tu adalah extra jobs lah. Alright. Thank you, Yuza. Okay, ada lagi tak? Tak ada? Okay lah kot. Okay, Adlin, rasanya ada lagi? Rasanya tak ada soalan?
Okay. Alright, so that's all for tonight's live session. Thank you for sharing.
Alright.
Dr. Kai. Ramai rindu Dr. Kai untuk ajar kelas orang. Kita orang pun rindu tak?
Kan. Tapi kalau lebih best face to face lah. Kalau mengajar online ni tak best lah kan.
Susah.
Tak boleh nak kunci pintu, datang lambat kan. Tak boleh nak tak boleh nak student tak bawa laptop kan, student
tak boleh nak cek pasal
kan, tak boleh cek pasal.
Saya pun rindu nak masuk kelas lambat
kan.
dulu dekat kelas.
Kalau masuk kelas lambat ni kena mark lah, memang kena mark lah. Kosong atau L lambat. Tapi dalam online ni kadang-kadang kita tak tahu dia tidur apa, tapi kita consider dia ni lah present.
Ya.
Alright,
thank you so much Doctor.
Alright, thank you.
And untuk siapa yang nak slides Dr. Kai, boleh download dekat Adgency punya bio, and don't forget to follow us for more updates, and we might do more live sessions as well. And I guess that's all for today. Tonight.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Good night. See you guys.
Thank you for joining. See you. Bye-bye. Good night.